Oof, a little bit of a bumpy start there for XSET as the first map does not go well for them. FaZe comes out swinging, and it's really off the back of a player we spoke about coming into that pregame. It was Baby Bay, who is crushing, regardless of whether it's a rifle, it's an AWP, or it's the old Van Silly. Baby Bay is just slicing them to pieces, sometimes, you know, physically actually slicing them up, and other times just dicing apart the defense. What was it exactly there that just allowed Baby Bay to do that, though, Alex?
I think it's just him in general. Again, just listening to his interview in the past with Platchat, he was saying how I just want to play my own style and play my own game. I've played it and tested how aggressive I could be with Jett, and I think I figured out how I could actually catch people off guard, and he's continuously doing that right now. And when you're looking at usually this flash and dash combo of Zachary and Baby Bay, ever since Zachary went over to the breach, we didn't see much of that. It's just Baby Bay getting the timings right and actually getting all of these frags that puts him on the top of the board. He looks amazing right now. He's on a different level.
Looking, though, at what some of the other players brought to the table, we had other people stepping up, one of them being Raucus. Christine, that's not typically a player we see really making a name for himself. Coming into this, we would have expected to see Baby Bay and Corey. So what exactly was the secret sauce that allowed Raucus to get into so many advantageous positions?
You're absolutely right. I mean, my immediate thought was, man, Raucus definitely ate his Wheaties this morning because he was not missing. The man did not skip a beat throughout this entire map. And you're right. I mean, when I was doing my research, Raucus was not a name that really held any huge impact in my brain throughout any of the matches that I watched. You know, you could clearly see that he had a plan, he did his job, he helped his teammates, but he wasn't the superstar heavy hitter that I just witnessed. So yeah, I mean, man, it's going to be challenging for XSET to put a stop not only on Baby Bay, but all the other members stepping up as well, even going to Bind especially. Man, that is a Sova playground. So this is going to be a tough task moving forward.
You know, Veli, you talk about what Marv brings to the table. Marv being the leader for the team, is it his work in the background that's allowing these players to come to light and just shine?
And like you said, as a leader, you know, you got to set the scene, set the stage by example. He did exactly that the round before halftime. It was round 12. We did. My man, I hated it had to be we did, right? He teleported over to heaven over on A, and then the next thing you know, Marv is behind him. This is where the beauty of his execution and his thought process comes through, right? He gets the kill, starts spraying gunfire, pushes the attackers out of A. So what are they going to do? Naturally, they're going to try to go all the way to C on the other side of the map. He teleported into their spawn, but then at the same time, another call was made. You saw Raze going grass, and the moment that Corey saw the rotation happening, Showstopper came out. Everybody swarmed all the players that were rotating on the attacking side of the team. And when you set that tempo, like Baby Bay is doing, to where you're just constantly aggressive, you're not playing this game like anybody else out there. It works so well for FaZe, and we just saw why.
I gotta say that the matchup between FaZe the matchup between FaZe and XSET on this map wasn't a good matchup for XSET when I've noticed these changes from FaZe. Why? Because for XSET, they like to do these set plays where they don't have that many lurkers. They don't have anybody watching flanks on their attacker side. And looking at FaZe, how they take control of sewers very early into the rounds now on Haven. And a number of times that even Baby Bay or Raucus was on a flank and they're able to get these backstabs onto XSET, they were able to dismantle this bio ball that XSET continued to have when they wanted to play for these trades on these set executes. So FaZe, they played it perfectly in my eyes.
I am surprised at XSET not having an answer, right? Because when you see the breach immediately, especially on a map like Haven, you think Vision Strikers, they're coming for me. They want to take the duel. They're not going to sit around. They're not going to let you default and poke and prod. They want to be in your face. And we already know how aggressive FaZe is. So moving on to the next map, I mean, I think XSET, they just need to have a reset. Mentally reset here and stick to your game plan, because I'm sure these guys have hashed out those kinds of details and figured it out.
Since Potter wants to talk about other regions, I'm going to do the same. Except for the lineup that they have, they didn't have the utility to be as explosive as they really wanted to, right? You don't really have flashes. The smokes really weren't set for long. So if you're going to play like a Brazilian team and you run in and let Pure pop off the way he did, everyone else has to be behind him, securing those kills as well. It was just unfortunate that the pinch kept coming. They play slower than FaZe, so at the end of the day, just the tempo was too much for them, and that was it.
We can take a look at the side-by-side comparison of the two teams in that last map as well to kind of understand how things shook down. To be fair, the graphic is going to tell us things we already know. FaZe just lights out play. Again, taking the battle to XSET's doorstep. This is exactly what we saw from FaZe in the finals of the last Challengers event. Just playing hyper-aggressive, running at their opponent. But the stats don't actually look all that crazy. When you see the damage side by side, it wasn't like they were double that of XSET, despite the scoreline being heavily tilted in their favor. But when you look at the frag wins, that's obviously where it showcases what just happened. Alex, can XSET bounce back off of a performance like this? I mean, look at the players even side by side. The best player was BCJ. 241 combat scores, 16 kills. Not bad, but look at that in comparison to Baby Bay.
Yeah, I mean, and also when you look at Pure, right? At first, when we were in a green room watching this matchup, we're like, hey, actually the head-to-head between Pure and Baby Bay, it looked pretty close. And then eventually on the attacker side leading to, for XSET, it started falling down as well. And it doesn't help if they lost 13-6. That shows that the other guys weren't able to help out somebody like BCJ, somebody like Pure into the fragging department to make this a closer game.
By the way, I just want to point out, Bob, so their MVP was BCJ. He went 16-15 to Silva. Baracus was 18-8 as well, and he wasn't even the MVP Silva for his team. Yeah. Like Baby Bay 28-12. Yo, the fragging is out there, and I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, you got to be able to shoot the other person on the other team, and FaZe did it better. These stats are insane.
Well, that was map 1, but map 2 is just about to come up. Let's take a look at the map picks and bans so we can see where we're going to be heading next and where this series is going to be leading us. Reality is that it doesn't matter where we're going. It's going to be tough for XSET to overcome the mental hurdle of coming back from a loss like that. So they're moving now to Bind. A comfortable territory for them, as we've seen them put in good results on Bind, Potter. But do you think that this team will have that sort of resolute, stalwart position where they can come back and be like, okay, sure, we lost map 1. Series isn't over. Let's turn it around, because they are younger players.
Right. You know, I think they do. I'm looking right straight at BCJ. You know, he had an okay performance on Haven. Bind, it seems to be his best map as far as in these last few months, at least. So definitely he's going to be the hero that these guys on XSET need. But a little bit more than that, you know, Pure, I know he's probably going to stick to that Jet on Bind. It seems like that's a trend for him. That's his comfort agent. He's going to have to step up to the plate. He's going to have huge, bigger rounds than he just did on Haven as well.
Well, the players are ready and the casters are standing by. Hopefully for all you XSET fans in the chat, we'll see a bounce back here and force things to map 3. But right now, it's not looking promising after that first map loss, but we'll have to see what they bring into the server. We've got Doug and Sean Gares. It's all yours, boys.
Thank you, Bach. I gotta tell you, it really is jarring every time I look at you and I see hair on your head. I like is that Bach? No, but Sean, I think they teed it up super well. The moment's now, right? And the good thing for XSET here is that they tend to be pretty dang good on Bind.
They do. They have a very good comp. I didn't mention it before the Haven game, but I want to say XSET has to be, you know, one of the only teams in this event where if you look at their stats across all the maps, their comps, they pretty much just stick to the same comp, right?
Yeah.
On all of their last 14 Haven games this year, they played the same comp. On all of their last 13 Bind games in 2021, they played the same comp. So they're very familiar with their comp, and we're gonna see them play the agents that they like playing. Now, the bad part about that is if they qualified, you know, a week ago, they would be able to be anti-shredded super easily because there's only so many things you can do with the same 5 agents taking the same spots on the map. But luckily for them, they qualified a long time ago by beating FaZe, right? They qualified weeks ago. They've had time to prepare, to reinvent their game. So they might bust out something that, you know, FaZe is definitely not going to be prepared for here.
Yeah, and again, I think if it's going to happen anywhere, it's got to be on Bind. Now, I was talking to Weeded yesterday, kind of, you know, prepping out, seeing how he was feeling, and I asked him if there was anything spicy, right? Like a little bit of salsa that they were going to throw at FaZe, and all he said was, nope, I can't answer it. So we very well may get a little something here on Bind.
I don't know. I think Weeded has shown, you know, he might pick a Viper here and there. oh man, I would only be so happy. I would be so happy. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Doug. Don't make me get excited.
I mean, we're both along for the ride. We're just a few moments away from Agent Select. If you're just joining us, Map 1 was ugly. If you're XSET, if you're a fan of XSET, as FaZe really just kind of imposed their will across the board. But now we're on to Bind, a map where historically XSET are much better. You take a look at their closed performance really throughout the first stage of the VCT, 4-2 record on Bind. Certainly bodes well when you consider that FaZe only had 3 reps on the map and they lost 2 of them.
Yeah, you speak of FaZe in VCT, but I think the Bind thing is very interesting because in Haven, I think the duelists stand a better chance. It's a very close range map. I don't think Sovas can shine as well as they can on Bind. I actually think Bind is an excellent map for Sova. So BCJ, who already had a good start to the series, I think this is where he has a chance to really shine. Whereas someone like Baby Bay, who is playing Jet on Haven, Jets don't have as much success on Bind. So that difference between the star players on both teams could ultimately decide which way this map goes.
Yeah, certainly could be the case. I think another person that we talked a bit about at the beginning, and truth is we didn't see a whole lot from on that first map, was Aaron. He was on the Rays, and there was much left to be desired there. Want to keep a close eye on him because I really do think for XSET, if they can get a couple of those players, right? If they can get Aaron clicking, right? If Pura can start hitting some shots and make some magic happen, I really think we can go to map 3, Sean.
I think so too. And what's interesting about the comps of these teams is they're so close, but Zach on the Breach instead of a Cypher. That is interesting because FaZe is that loose team, They don't really get map control like most teams. And not seeing a Sentinel on Bind is a little sketchy. I think there's going to be massive holes when FaZe is on attack, but I'm not sure if XSET's going to be capable of finding those holes. They're going to have to get information from BCJ. They're going to have to get information from Twyfo. Pure is going to have to, start coming more into the game. He's going to have to be aggressive and open up these rounds. I think it can be exploited when you don't have a Sentinel on Bind, and you have to be proactive to do that, though.
Now, let me ask you this, right? Because there's been a lot of discourse around Breach and how strong of an agent he can be and whether or not he should be replacing certain, in some cases replacing duelists because of the way you can play him, or in this case, Sentinels. Do you agree with that? Do you think Breach is a better pick?
Breach is a fantastic pick, but look at this push coming out of Long B from Baby Bay. It's forced them to just rush A. They're scaling quick on Raucus.
Raucus trying to stay alive in the smoke, and he's not going to be around for long. BCJ through the dark cover, gets one with the Ghost. XSET should be able to get the spike down. Mark needs to go big there. He gets one. Aaron trades it out as the spike goes down. You keep a close eye on the minimap, folks. FaZe has 2 members rotating through, presumably going to send one shower. Okay, they're both going to go showers as XSET hunkers down around U-Haul.
Oh, such a difficult retake right now coming in from FaZe. The 2 players completely separated right now from Zach. He's gonna have to come up big with a flash or 2, maybe at the truck when they swing.
Yeah, well, and the one benefit they have of them is that they can push from different sides, and that's where you see some of that play out. Attention is drawn one way, the sucker punch comes in from the other side. Baby Bay with the frenzy gets 2 as XSET falls apart. BCJ is alone. He's certainly worse for wear. FaZe get the defuse. A beautiful retake from the boys on the defending side.
Not a single FaZe player falls in that retake. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A 4-on-3 and they cleanly retake. The flashes coming from Zachary, especially the last one on BCJ in pocket. What phenomenal utility usage coming out of Zach. I mean, I said it on Haven. It's one thing that all the rest of the players can just run around, but he is just so good at supporting them with his utility, and he showed it again and again. He's 0-1, but he definitely had the most impact on that pistol.
Oh, absolutely. On that retake, he really was the one who opened the door, who paved the way for FaZe to take that round. XSET here, down 1. A couple of sheriffs. I don't believe they forced up real big at all. See what damage they can do with some of these upgraded pistols.
Ooh, the cam for U-Haul.
Pure
That's
goes
only
in.
a near sight.
Yeah, the paranoia's there. Marved wins the 1v1 as he continues to push through. They have full U-Haul control, and they're going to have to deal with it, or else Marv is going to continue to run around unchecked. Thwifo gets the best of him. Rock is waiting for the flank, and there he is. Warm, welcoming open arms as BCJ drops XSET down to 1 member left as it's Thwifo. He's going to get all sorts of messed up. With that utility, FaZe take the second as well.
Great plays coming out of Marv and Raucus to hold down the A site. The instant paranoia to U-Haul. I was a little nervous. I mentioned it's only a near site. That means the guy in the corner of U-Haul actually has vision if Marv gets close enough, which in U-Haul, you are indeed close enough right there. So it was a little bit scary, but once he got that, the confidence peeking out of view, closing it down with Raucus, who was aware of the flank. FaZe is looking really strong these first 2 rounds.
Looking spicy indeed, and Sean, I know you saw it. We talked about it last time, but he's committing to it this time on the bonus. Baby Bay with a Bucky. Keep a close eye on him. Again, it's electric.
Here.
It is. If you look at this, this is very interesting coming out of XSET because they're just giving up shower control. This is very rare when you watch pro matches and there's just no emphasis on aggression towards hookah, shower, or long B at the start of the round. There is a cam that tells Thwifo no aggression's coming out down B, but they're giving so much respect to FaZe in the early part of this round.
They are, and then really understanding that FaZe is on a bonus, and there very well may be a Bucky or a Judge on the other side. You almost kind of have to respect that.
The trunk doesn't clear the right, so that's going to be interesting. When they come out of shower, they won't know if there's someone to the right or not.
Spikes come down. Paranoia comes out from Marv as Pure dashes away from the CC. Still going to get flashed up. Nonetheless, as they continue to try to encroach onto the site. So far, everyone's still alive. Thwifo should be able to get the spike down, and Sean, this one's going to be a bloodbath. Everyone's still up, no ultimates on the board, but Marv, understanding there's somebody in showers, he takes care of Aaron, but he trades out. Zachary going in aggressive, trying to take control of U-Haul. Thwifo with the peek. Zachary getting pushed back in a 1v2 here, as he has to back up.
He's going to wait for that fault line to recharge. The second it does, I think he's going to fault line and just run in there. There he goes, baby, leading the charge.
With the Bucky, baby! Oh. Zachary gets 1. BCJ, though. BCJ can go big here. He's already gotten 1. You're right. He has that Hunter's Fury. I don't know that he's going to want to use it this early on. No, a beautiful setup from FaZe. Zachary gets 3. The high-low stack was there. No real chance for BCJ.
Again, though, Zach, I'm telling you, these rounds are falling apart. And Zach just comes in with his utility as Breach and just saves FaZe. Look at this. This Aftershock forces the Omen forward. We had no choice. The fault line tags Thwifo, makes Pure swing right into Zach. Oh my goodness, Zach's just dominating right now in this Breach role.
Huge impact, and now we're seeing it reflect on the scoreboard as well, right? Like it was 0-1 or whatever. Now sitting at 4-0-2, tapping out for FaZe. As XSET continue to look for answers, now they've got the Rolling Thunder online. Things not looking good for XSET.
No, and FaZe faking some pressure towards long right there. Gonna draw a lot of utility out of XSET before they work up long after that. You see, no hookah control, no octagon control yet, but this is definitely gonna be a B hit. And there'll be 4 FaZe players here by the time it happens.
Yeah, there's really, I mean, it's not like they have someone in showers to flip the map. They've fully committed here.
Oh,
the drone is going to go out first. Yeah, dude, if Zachary gets a sniff on this, the Rolling Thunder really sets things sideways, and there it is. Hits 2, maybe 3, I believe, but a great paranoia from Weeded to try to keep things back. Nonetheless, Hori takes care of Weeded, gets a second one. Hori with 3, it's a bloodbath. FaZe rip XSET apart as they take a 4-round lead.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know what to do if you're XSET right now. They came into this game with a particular game plan of how they think FaZe is going to play.
Mm-hmm.
FaZe is not playing that style. They're not playing super aggressively and pushing into XSET. I think XSET is approaching this series like they're playing the old version of FaZe, and they're not seeing that version of FaZe right now.
Absolutely. XSET looking for answers here. They're going to have rifles. I believe there's 1 player with light armor. But the rest of the way, they should be in decent shape. And for XSET, like, look at how much they slow down the pace of the map, Sean.
Again, they're just waiting just to see, is FaZe going to push anything? We don't want to take anything too aggressively. So they're finally moving up towards hookah now. They're finally peeking long B now. But you can see they don't have shower control, and they haven't been at short A all round. They have a trip there, so they know no one's flanking. But again, they're going to run into the stacked site right now. FaZe is all over this. And I think Raucus, is he going to...
Does he have pop?
No, he's just going to lurk in that corner, but he's playing completely off of Baby Bay and Corey. This is going to be a very tough setup to break.
And then also keep in mind, Corey has the showstopper here. Okay. Baby Bay's the one with the op. The Hunter's Fury out of BCJ. You imagine that might be bait. Yep,
it's
absolutely.
pulling the rotate, Doug.
Yep, Zachary drops. You see members. Look, take a look at Baby Bay. Forced to go back that way, but Corey, wise to it, uses the showstopper. He gets onto We Did. Rockets trying to keep other members back as he does just that. Aaron trying to equalize things, but no, it continues to go sideways for XSET. FaZe up 5-0 here. XSET have no answers.
Oh my goodness. They had one before the game. But everyone has a plan. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. I think that's a Mike Tyson quote, is it not?
It is. Excellent quote, by the way.
FaZe is just coming in here swinging. The strat this round looked great. They forced the rotate out of the B site. There was one player in the site when they were jumping out of hookah. And then Corey comes satcheling in with the Razor, and everything falls to pieces. It's just, FaZe is so quick.
Okay, here's a little different look, right? We talked about how they don't fight for showers control. Now they do, as they try to get on A. Baby Bay getting one with the op. Zachary continuing to hold things down as well. Showers not really an option. Is look at how aggressively FaZe can play this. Mark goes at them. Raucus is on the other side as well. They're sandwiched. Once again, XSET get picked apart.
Holy cow. What version of FaZe are we seeing? These guys don't look like they came from Overwatch. I was scammed. These guys are insane. These guys are so good. So good. Marv faking the pressure in shower makes the people on XSET commit up short A. Yeah. Typically when these pro teams split on the A site, the shower hit should wait for short A. But because there was so much pressure from Marv in the shower, short A commit up. But it was just Marv shower. It wasn't like a setup because this is FaZe. And they just play individually.
Right. Well, and then Baby Bay is waiting for the short pressure, right? Like, he's got an op. He's just staring right down that lane. They absolutely bait him. Aaron with the showstopper. Good for one. They've got some room to breathe here on the site. Raucus, however, with the Hunter's Fury, trying to keep some of it back. XSET, at least they, oh my gosh, they get onto the site, but FaZe just snatch it right back.
I know exactly where you are.
That's a big frag from We Did. It's now 3-on-2 in XSET's favor. The neural theft comes in. Baby Bay's daggers and that drone makes me so scared for these guys inside U-Haul. Right click so strong from this distance.
Really know where to go, but of course if the right click misses, it doesn't hurt at all. We Did somehow getting away by the skin of his teeth, stays alive, gets the kill. Raucus left alone as he tried to play for exits, but finally XSET get on the board.
Huge round from XSET. They had to waste a couple ults to win that round, but just getting on the board, you know, getting your confidence up, that's a huge part of this game. It's a massive part in this game, and the economy doesn't last for that long. All XSET needs to do is just string together a couple rounds here. You know, FaZe would be probably looking to eco already. You can see, like, FaZe's economy isn't that great when you consider they're up 6-0.
Right.
So a couple more rounds, and XSET would be easily back in this game. But they have to do the hard work and actually win those rounds.
They do, and there's very little margin for error here, right? Like, you lose this one, all of a sudden you're back in a reset situation where you're ecoed once again, and you don't have very much as far as options go.
And if you look, they're going back to this passive style. Baby has full shower control. They have full hookah control. You see Corey's out hookah. Baby has full shower control. I don't even know where FaZe would assume they are. All short A, but Zach is watching short A. Oh my god, they are never... Are they going to clear this box? Look at where. Oh, dear. It's not going to hit him. It's not going to hit him. Oh, dear.
There's the info, man. Like, Corey gets everything he wants. He swings, gets the pick onto Pura as well. Very well played by Corey.
No way does he win that duel. Cover going out. Corey's such a monster.
All right, XSET looking to flip the map, reset things as they pick up the spike. And I mean, really, for as much time as they spent dancing around B, they don't really have an option to go elsewhere. They kind of have to go this way. Corey's going to blast pack his way to safety.
Oh my god, look how quick Zach is on that.
Okay, nice shots from BCJ. Paranoia goes just a bit wide. Raucus is there to anchor things. He gets one, he gets two, looking for the third. He gets it, but Weeded drops him as things drop down. Weeded left alone. He's going to get the spike down. Doesn't have much for utility. Now's going to have that smoke up, but it's just dancing for his life. Nice shots onto Baby Bay. The snap was there, but Marv extinguishes the threat. FaZe take another round away from XSET.
It's just the little things that this FaZe team does. I don't even think I could teach someone what they're doing, but how Baby Bay can just dash in fearlessly like that. We did looked like he was just hyper alert. His aim was super on point in that 1-on-2, and I think if people peeked him 1-by-1 spawn, he probably wins. But instead, Baby Bay's peeking like a maniac and then dashes out into the middle of the open and creates so much space for Marv. Like, there's just no way to predict. You know, we cannot predict where Marv is in that 1-on-1 at that point.
Right.
So it's just the little things right now. FaZe is doing so well playing off of each other.
XSET once again posted up towards Sand, towards Hookah, towards B. No presence across showers, and it looks like they want to be a bit more intentional in this push. You see the Paranoia comes out, but they haven't fully taken. Yeah, man, they haven't fully taken Hookah. Corey's there with the grenade. He's able to get one. Corey gets a second, but Pure gets on the board and takes care of him.
But a 4v3 now, and you have no smokes. Yikes, this is going to be a difficult round. How do you approach this B site? No smokes. Look at the crossfire FaZe has created with Raucus and Marv. How do you get out Hookah?
And they have a decent idea of where Thwifo is, right? You just saw Baby Bay just narrowly missing with the op, but he knows where he is. Thwifo just needs to be a distraction. He needs to be a nuisance.
That changes everything. That changes everything, Doug. Now it's a 3-on-3, but look at Raucus. He's pushed all the way down.
Oh, Raucus gets the spike carrier too. They had an exit plan. They had the road to get over to A to get the spike down, but it all goes sideways. Pure still manages to get the spike. He's going to make his way over onto A, but by that time, Baby Bay's there. Marv is there as well. There's an operator, and it looks like FaZe are just going to give it up. Fine, go ahead and get the spike down. Well, of course, as I say that, Raucus using the 100 Fury gets the kill. The spike did go down. Thwifo left alone in a 1v3. Slowly working his way through U-Haul, spots one of the players. As Baby Bay goes up. The Cloudburst is there, and Thwifo is running out of options very quickly. He's also running out of health. Raucus gets 3, FaZe get 8.
Again, every person on FaZe just so good right now. Marv, jiggle peeking Hookah, backing off, TPing away, creating that pressure. Raucus then pushing down long B, catching the Hookah rotate. And then you have Baby Bay jiggle peeking U-Haul on the rotate. FaZe is feeling it right now. They are very confident, but this is a different type of confidence than I've seen from FaZe before. Typically, when they're confident, they over peak and make horrible mistakes. They're still playing, sound Valorant right now. They're doing the right individual play, even though they're playing aggressively.
You're starting to see why people were so high on FaZe walking into this tournament, right? Like how they were so impressive in their performance in the third close qualifier, and we're seeing some of that carry on here. Baby Bay waiting until the very last second there, and he lands a shot onto BCJ. FaZe just seemed to not be able to do any wrong here, right? As the blast pack is there, Baby Bay with the miss. Switches out to the Phantom, 51 health and 5 bullets to work with. The thing is, Aaron has even less. The wall bang was there. Aaron was a dead man walking.
So now Baby Bay has shower control and he's popping short A. Oh my, it's so free, Doug. It's so free.
Oh my gosh! Get out of here. There's no way he hit that shot.
Oh my god. I just want what he had for breakfast every day before I play ranked. He's totally on one. He's running through paint shells. He's being so disruptive. What do you do if someone is this disruptive? You can't go anywhere. Oh my goodness.
All right, Sean, I'm gonna put you in a brutal spot here. You're XSET. What do you do, man? Like, what do you change? Where do you start?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. This is so difficult. I think they need to like run fakes and have hard lurkers. You know? FaZe is biting on rotates, and they don't have a sentinel. It's just
look where Zachary is.
oh man.
Zachary takes that teleport early on. Weedage just on the other side.
He has an ult in there. Oh my god.
Well, but the thing is, it's just Weeded. Yeah, it's just Weeded. So they're gonna swing out. They think there's gonna be a feast on the other side, but it's just one. Now, if you're XSET, you know you've fully lost control of the hookah area of the map. You flip it. No, they don't. BCJ tries to fight through a couple very nice sheriff shots from BCJ and Pure to drop a couple of members from FaZe and give XSET the numbers advantage. I think we've been able to say that, what, once?
Yeah, once. And I think this is the overconfident phase that I was literally giving them credit for not being at the start of the round. They're literally just doing this to spite me at this point.
We'll see if XSET can get something out of this. They do have the showstopper. They do have the Hunter's Fury.
Look where Baby Bay is. How does he miss this shot? There's just no way, based on his form right now. There's just no way, Doug. There's no way. It's free. 3-on-3. Baby smokes the dart.
Ooh. Members of FaZe starting to rotate. Pure winning that duel. But the cavalry has arrived. The members of other members of FaZe have arrived. BCJ, beautiful setup. Pure with 3 and the op. A thrifty round win and a desperately needed one for XSET.
Desperately needed. I think this game is still winnable for XSET. This map is defense-sided. With that said, I really do think you need 3 rounds. They have some solid ults, and FaZe is in a bad spot with their ults, so they have a huge advantage coming into this round.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think 10-2. And look, Sean, let's be real with each other here, right? Like 10-2, 9-3. The painting still
sucks. There's a jet op battle long B. There's a jet op battle long B. I'm sorry to distract you, but it's going to happen here.
Baby Bay gets that angle first. Look
Any day now, Sova Dart.
Come on now, baby. Get down there. The paranoia was there. Rockus with the drone, swings early on. The Hunter's Fury is going to be used from BCJ as well. Wyfo gets 1. On to Baby Bay. There are the ultimates that you were talking about, Sean. They needed this. We did with 2. With the rifle, the showstopper from Aaron not connecting. But it's really, this was the round that the doctor ordered. If you're XSET, Marv is left alone. But Sean, great, right? Like, you do it to close game. Right, well, but here's the thing, right? Like, you do that to close the half. Great. You're resetting on the other side. Like, how do you, in this position, how do you build momentum off of that?
I don't know. That strat was sick. I think we needed to see a lot more of that from XSET. It's like their normal style, right? Where you could feel the anticipation building when that Sova arrow was in the air. It was like we were all waiting for it to land, but the second it landed, it's triggered a reaction of 10 abilities coming out of the XSET guys, and they just wiped the floor with FaZe. It was so explosive. But here we are. We get to see if they have any changes to their defense side. What is different? Well, I can tell you they're stacked at the completely wrong site right now to kick it off. That is not a good sign.
No,
probably going to be a super heavy TP play.
Yeah, Wyfo should get some info here. If not for the utility, then certainly for the fact that it sounds like Clydesdales are just marching their way down B long. They've taken that area of the map. Now they're going to start to encroach their way onto the site. They also have hookah control. XSET has to pull back.
Doug. Look where he's droning from. He's in Octagon. What?
Baby Bay. All right. Seeing some of that aggression punished. As Aaron gets 1, but the thing is, you've got to fight for this elbow control here, and FaZe steps up to the plate again. Zachary gets 2. XSET down to that same amount as they fight to win this pistol. Corey's in a great spot here. They're really, I mean, XSET, they're sitting ducks, right? They're left alone here. They have so many angles that they can control. Things look real bad for XSET, Sean.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. FaZe is just putting on a clinic. They just let Baby Bay just full rush into the B site. Raucus is droning from in Octagon on a pistol round. There's so little utility, and he's run all the way up to Octagon and started his drone there. People normally drone at the bottom of long B. That's insanity. That's actual insanity. They're pushing elbow, and Zachary's flashes are perfect. And they're doing it all over again.
Yeah, I mean, rinse and repeat. The paranoia is there. BCJ should have gotten some info. You see members of XSET start to rotate over. Corey with the superior guns there, just, able to very easily win that duel. Flyfo with the Bucky. See if he can make some magic happen of his own. Gonna get smoked off. XSET down to 3.
I think we need a moment of silence right now for XSET, because this is hard to watch.
This is no longer rated PG, folks. If you have young eyes watching at home, shield them. As FaZe just really pile it on to XSET here, 11-3. And we've talked about how XSET have looked for answers, and they're not finding them anywhere. At this point, FaZe just seem like they can do no wrong.
No, and as coming into this match, looking at the VODs, looking at these teams, I thought XSET, they would make this series close at worst by playing tactically better than FaZe. And that's just how it happened. FaZe is the one outstratting XSET right now, in addition to out-aiming them.
And the thing is, the score doesn't look great. Finances don't look great either. XSET, if there was a world where they pull off some shenanigans, it's got to start here. As you mentioned, they're just fully sending, and they've taken U-Haul control. Great pipes control as well. Marv is up there. They're just like running it down their throats. Sean.
Dog, the frags this round. They flanked U-Haul for the first kill and killed the guy with the shock dart. They push Heaven and get 2 more, and then they push through the spawn hall to get the last one. Like, the most conventional round I've ever seen. They are just feeling so good right now. They're feeling so good. I would be terrified to play this team.
That was full Smeeg. Like,
that was
1,000%, 1,000% unadulterated full Smeeg. XSET here, backs against the ropes. Not a ton of options to work with here as FaZe look to put the finishing touches on a Picasso moment.
Got so much info. Marv just saw. He has Spike. They're trolling. Oh no! They were gonna do a fake through the TP this round. Unfortunately for them, Marv gets caught all by himself short A. Or he has his all.
Oh boy.
He's gonna zone it out.
They have to respect it. Oh, okay. Heated drops. Pure stands strong, but Zachary shows that he can do some of his own. BCJ trades it out. A 1v1 is all that remains, and who else but Baby Bay on the side of FaZe as BCJ looks to keep the series alive, the map alive for XSET. He's down to 71 health. He doesn't have a ton of armor. Here's the chance, and Baby Bay answers the call yet again. An absolutely clinical performance from FaZe as they decimate XSET 2-0.
Oh, goodness. They indeed repped the set right there. Holy cow. FaZe Clan just absolutely wiping the floor with XSET in this series, cleanly winning 2-0, proving that their challenger stage just a week ago was not a fluke. And this team, I think they might be the hottest team in the tournament right now. I would not want to play against this team.
I mean, how do you not, right? Like you think about, you mentioned their performance at Close 3 and how impressive they look, the adjustments they made over a week. So you carry that momentum, and then you walk into this and you think, well, XSET beat them last time. Like, XSET actually looked really good when they beat them last time. And XSET is in a position where they can make a statement, prove that they belong. And FaZe just kind of laughed, right? Like, FaZe.
I don't know what you can say. What do you say if you're XSET after this game? Because you come into this game and you think, yeah, this is going to be hard because they're going to play really aggressive and, their aimers are probably better than ours. And then you just get outplayed tactically. Oof. That's a hard loss. That's a hard loss right there for XSET. But I think it's a learning experience. They're still such a young team.
Yeah.
I think this is more about FaZe than it is about XSET. I'm blown away by how much this team has improved in the last month.
Right? It was Van Silly who put it beautifully. FaZe went from a 1-gear bicycle to a 2-gear bicycle, right? Like, they have become more sophisticated, more diverse in their play, and we saw the hot and heavy phase, we saw the galaxy brain phase. It was really a complete effort across the board from the boys at FaZe. The good thing for XSET and the beauty of this tournament is that there is a lower bracket. This does span over multiple days. XSET will have a chance to reset. They'll have a chance to get their bearings under them and look to make a Cinderella run through the lower bracket. But we're going to toss it over to the desk. Boys, gals, everyone, good luck.
Well, I think we're going to need some of that luck. I actually have been taking down notes as we've been watching the matches, and my notes for that match say, FaZe is really good. That's all I needed to write down, as that was basically all we needed to encapsulate on that second map, on the second series of the day. Baby J just keeps doing what Baby J does, but he's got backup and support from the whole squad here, and XSET falls flat. Veli, this just felt like kind of FaZe having fun playing with their food a little bit.
Sorry about that. I was playing with my light. It was falling on me, man. But FaZe was playing with their food. And, kind of like what Sean said, it's kind of less about XSET and more about FaZe. Yeah, we could say everything they did wrong, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that. It was FaZe or better. Coming into Challengers 3, after a winless Challengers 2, you throw Breach in the lineup, and Zachary was so on point. I believe at a point in time, he started off the game 7-1. 7-1 on Breach. You don't see that at all. And the reason why that helps out this team so much is the fact that you want to run around the map and get all silly-nilly. Actually, right before that play right there, Zachary held off 2 players in U-Haul with an aftershock and flashes. He exhausted his whole toolkit, and that allowed Baby Bay to come in and help him out with kills. Zachary is an unselfish player, and that's why you have players like Corey, Rockus being superstars. They have been fantastic in FaZe. They play a different game than everybody else, man. This is fast and fun. I love the way they use their abilities.
When I looked at this matchup between FaZe and XSET, I was like, oh, well, XSET actually did do a little bit of studying about FaZe, because it seems as though they were able to read FaZe pushing down towards that long B with that Zachary flash and dash or aggression from Baby Bay moving down towards that fountain side. So everybody went towards the A side. But then the retake, I think there's one thing about studying demos and trying to prep for your team than actually facing that team in the server. With Zachary coming back with his utility as that breach, the flashes, the fault line to control, and a retake into U-Haul. How important that position is on pulse plants on the attack was basically stripped away every single time by FaZe on a retake. Just made it very hard, and XSET unfortunately learned a hard lesson. Yes, definitely, FaZe was playing with their food, and they were eating out of that XSET cereal bowl.
It was a bad mismatch.
The XSET cereal bowl. A proud owner of an XSET cereal bowl.
Same here.
I assume, got to get that cereal in the morning. Looking at that match, though, we do have the Verizon high-speed moment of the match. And who else is it going to be? It's going to be Baby Bay. Baby Bay coming in hot. Almost got the ace on this play, mind you, but got robbed. His teammate comes in. You actually see the knife pull as well. So Baby Bay goes for the knife pull, tries to get the ult kill for that final one for a little bit of flash and dash. But it all starts here with the op, and he just pops off.
Yeah, so Baby Bay, he wanted to peek after he got 2 kills. He saw the tip of the gun and good night, Aaron. He's going to get that kill. Another one on We Did, and when you thought he was done, like, Cypher is just out of there. He should have had the ace, but at the end of the day, the win is all that matters. The fact that Baby Bay can run off on his own, yeah, he had Marv with him, I get it. But the fact that he can go on his own and have plays like this, listen, this
That
boy...
shot.
This guy is something special. Baby Bay, he needs to bring it tomorrow against NB as well, because that's going to be a fire game.
I think it's just natural that this is going to be called the high-speed moment. It's a jet, right? A jet that's going to be able to dash, the Verizon high-speed moment. And I think the whole meme around him schmeeging, right? The way that he played that, he dashed away from a boom bot going in front of him, still walks into... and strays away from paint shells being thrown to still land an operator shot outside showers, and he had so much flair in that 4K and overall in his performance on those 2 maps. This man is on, again, I said it before, he's on a different level, and teams have to be ready for this moving forward throughout this weekend.
Well, there's a walk into the server with confidence, like, oh, I think we can win here. We're a really strong team. And then there's walking in with swagger. And that's what FaZe has. FaZe has that swagger. They're coming in like, it's not even going to be close. Like, we're going to play our own game. They're not even going to have a chance. I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to win because I'm just better. That's the energy that FaZe brings to the table. But we do have Sue standing by with one of the members of FaZe for the Verizon post-game interview. Take it away, Sue.
There were a lot of eyes looking at FaZe, especially after you guys had that super impressive, convincing victory at Challengers 3. There were a lot of questions. Would we be seeing that FaZe performance continue? But zero disappointments here with this convincing victory over XSET. I'm curious, how much more satisfying is this win? Not just winning, but also getting revenge against the XSET that had beaten y'all 2-0 back in Challengers 2.
Well, it definitely feels great because last time we played them, it didn't feel like they beat us at all. It felt like we beat ourselves, you know? So like I had something to prove, and especially because like I've been competing for like my entire life against Aaron. He's a Crossfire player and he like represented Canada, and I always represented USA. So we've been having this rivalry for a long time. I mean, we're friends, but I had to flex on him after he beat me. I was like, come on, dude, I'm better, man. I'm the better Crossfire player here. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. You certainly showed that today. Fantastic performance on Haven. And I noticed Haven and Bind were the very same two maps that you played against XSET last time around. You said it yourself, today's performance was a complete reversal. What were the learnings that you guys took away from that first series where things didn't work your way? Because today was a completely different phase.
Well, I'm not going to lie. When we first played them, we weren't like in a more developed state of our team. We were kind of just like the basic Schmeeg, and now we're like sophisticated Schmeeg. You know, we're actually doing things for a purpose. So like I was literally just going full Schmeeg mode, just going in, like doing whatever I wanted. I would literally be like, okay, I want to go A this round, and I would just go until no, you know, and I would never stop. I would just keep going all the way to their spawn. And you know, now we actually decided to play the game how I think it's supposed to be played, and you know, we limit tested in tournaments, and that's just like, that just shows that we got some big cojones, you know?
You talk about sophisticated Smeeg. We certainly saw that evolution of Smeeg happen specifically between Challengers 2 and 3, where you showed up to Challengers 3 and the Smeeg was evolved. You guys look so good, taking it all the way to the grand finals, winning 3-0 over 100 Thieves. So talk about the process that went into working on the Smeeg and ensuring that it evolved and you went into 2 gears.
So the Schmeeg all began because we realized that we were like just so much more mechanically gifted than a lot of these players that are in the scene. And it just kind of happened naturally because, like I said, we like, you know, even with us just like picking a site and just rushing all the time, or like picking a spot and rushing, we were still like getting through to these tournaments. Now we weren't beating like really good teams, but we were still making it like into the tournaments. And you know, like once we realized that, we were like, okay, this is viable, but you know, it's just like you have to do more than just that, you know. And we figured out what we needed to do, and you know, our new coach was a big help with that. He kind of like helped show us like, you know, oh, like you guys need to work on like these fundamentals in CS, which we all lack because we're all Overwatch players mainly. I mean, we have Jimmy Marv, who's a CS player, and he's like, he already knew all this stuff, but it's very hard to teach 4 other people that. So once we got the coach, he was like, yeah, you guys got to work on your trading, work on your post plans, work on all this stuff, you know, spend more time in the lab. You can't just run around and kill everybody, you know, even though we were doing it for a little bit. So he was a big contribution in that. And now, you know, now we're the sophisticated Schmeeg is what I call it.
It's awesome to see. A lot of people did call out Coach Trippy for having a big role in helping the evolution get to where it is today. And it's exciting because this next match you guys have coming up is going to be so damn good. Going up against that #1 seed in Envy, who you have not played since December. And we all know, we just talked about it. This new FaZe team that is, a two-geared Smeeg, if we want to call it as such, it's bound to be a much more exciting series. So I'm curious, with how good y'all are looking right now, how do you feel you stack against Envy right now?
We are extremely confident right now with how we've been playing. And if we were able to beat them, granted it was a best of one, but if we were able to beat them by just doing like our unevolutionized play style, I think that this will be easier than the last time we played them. But, anything can happen and anybody can beat anybody on the given day, So like, I know Food's been having really good games lately, and I'm definitely going to be hunting for him, just like I was hunting for Asuna last time we played them. So we'll see who the better duelist is, for the time being.
It'll be a battle of the Smeegs. But for now, congratulations once again, Baby Bay. What a dominant performance from FaZe. Back to you, Vok.
Thank you so much.
I love the fact that he has a two-gear Smeeg. I think that's actually pretty incredible. I'm also digging the robes you guys are bringing out. You're going for that energy, apparently, the Baby Bay
big Baby Bay energy. Let's go. Is that a Snuggie or a robe? I told you to get a robe, Van Silly.
Listen,
what is that, man?
It's a robe Snuggie.
That's a Harry Potter robe.
Yeah,
I
I was gonna say,
Jedi.
I feel like Van Silly went to like Harry Potter UPS school. Like this is like some weird color combination you got going on. You delivered the package.
You know what?
To
I still think it looks good. I still think it looks good.
It looks
it's
small.
soft. I love it. So I gotta say, Baby Bay inspired me, the way that he played throughout the series, and I think this is the way that I have to go if I have to be good on the analyst desk.
We gotta support Baby Bay after a performance like that, man. He's the MVP of the day to me. So you know what? Let's do it.
Speaking of the play that we saw, we can pull up the graphics that show us the scoreboard and how everything broke down, but it's obvious where it's moving. We watched that last map go heavily in favor of FaZe. They dominated their opponents. It was not close, and kind of felt like XSET just fell asleep in that second map. We were looking at the two players to profile coming into that series. It was Pure and it was Baby Bay. Obviously, we saw a great performance from Baby Bay, Van Silly, but what happened to Pure in that second map?
I just find that in general, they didn't have any answers as a team. I don't think it's necessarily because of Pure. They were still able to get into the sites. I think when we're going to look at the team head-to-head comparisons, the retakes were just really, really good for FaZe. As they said that they were looking a little bit more organized, they could have an organized aggression, and it pays off in dividends for them when they're playing these retakes. So I believe that, again, for XSET, they felt they were ready, but once you face the reality, it just hits you really hard in the face. But I'm sure they're going to be able to bring that up into the lower brackets, definitely.
Yeah, looking at this here, look at that. 13-3, 11K to 7.5K, 26% headshot. Frag wins 8-3. Objective wins as well. FaZe had full control. We never saw a single objective win, but when you only have 3, is that really all that surprising, Veli?
No, not at all. And the biggest problem is I really want to piggyback off of Van Silly right now. I mean, come on, Corey, 2.4 KDA. Actually, count how many people have over a 2.0 KDA. That's insane on the side of FaZe, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Looking at XSET, you have to question how could they have countered all of this? How could they have turned the clock backwards and changed the outcome of this match? It's really difficult when you take a look at their lineup right there. You have one flash, you have one smoke, really. And if teams are aggressive or if they're catching you on the rotation, you don't have that Sky for flashes. You don't have Breach with that utility dump. You don't really have anything to answer them except what you have in your default kit. XSET, they made it this far doing what they've been doing so far, so I believe in them and I trust in them, but I would really love to see some more variety in there in case they go against a big mismatch like FaZe when it comes to playstyles.
Christine, looking at that lower bracket match as well, we'll take a look at the bracket in just a second, but are you worried for XSET that they're going to struggle to perform against the likes of Gen G?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We've discussed it, right? These guys have already made leaps and bounds in these last few weeks as it is. And so I think they're still on a high. They'll be able to shake this off. I always say a score line, when it's by this big of a margin, it's a little bit easier to get over. You can simply say, oh man, we just got outplayed. They just out-aimed us, right? And that's kind of what we saw. And we discussed already, we're not so much looking at XSET's failures, but FaZe, they were on another another level. They were
yeah.
playing chess out here while XSET were playing checkers, right? So definitely, I think Veli brings up some good points. They didn't have exactly the kind of flashes that Sky and Breach provides, but there are still answers that you can do with the kits on Raze, the Boombot, the Omen, having the flash ready when those Breach flashes are coming your way. So a little bit of a better game planning before the match goes in. I think XSET, just quick discussions, and they'll be able to make those kinds of audibles the next time around.
Just to add quickly, as Christine has mentioned these flashes, because in Korea, we see how good and how useful Breach is for the compositions. And when Breach actually first had that buff, I guess, in the summertime, just before Pop Flash in the Ignition series, teams did try using him in North America, and it wasn't working. It wasn't paying off. And now he was like a very low pick in North America. But now that FaZe brings it back and to see how effective it could be, as how Zachary is using him right now, there's potential, especially with Zeta in Cloud9 that brings over that strategy too, from Korea with a Breach in the lineup. I'm sure the NA meta might be shifting over to maybe incorporate some more Breach.
I'm gonna make it real quick, Bach, but this is what TSM has been doing. They've been bringing Sky and Breach, different type of utility dumps, and it's been working for months now. It's about time FaZe picked up on it, and look where it's taking them.
Well, congratulations to FaZe as they move on further into the bracket. They'll be facing off against that #1 seed Envy to continue that journey in the upper bracket. But that does wrap things up for us today. We've got 2 matches coming up tomorrow, and we'll pull up a graphic here so you guys can see what's going to be happening. But we're going to be moving into some really spicy ones. We're going to be watching Sentinels face off against LG, and that'll be a bit of a rematch. We've seen these teams face off against each other a couple of times, going back all the way to early January when they played in the Nerd Street Gamers Winter Championships, and we saw Luminosity come out and surprise everyone with a best-of-5 victory. And then we also move into a second heater of a match. It's Immortals versus 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves, they had a little bit of a bumpy road getting here, and Immortals has really impressed us greatly, looking at the way that this team has shaped up despite all the roster changes, all the roster moves. But you can catch all of that action right here tomorrow. We're going to be live at the same exact time as we were today. That's 3 Eastern or 12 noon Pacific, and we hope you guys will join us. We'll see you then.